Hello everybody, my name is David Hall, and this is my informative speech for CST 100, section 033B, and today is October the 21st, 2010. Today I'm going to be telling you some interesting facts about the perceived and often unfounded differences between men and women. And this is based on a book that I read several years ago called Mismeasure of Woman: Why Women Are Not the Better Sex, the Inferior Sex, or the Opposite Sex. And I'll post a link to Amazon for reviews of this book on the discussion board so everybody can take a look at it. The first thing I like to talk about is why is it considered that women can't take a joke? Research shows that men and women have an equal capacity for humor, it's just what we find funny is different. Men think jokes are funnier when the target is someone other than themselves, while women prefer more self-deprecating humor. Instead of saying that women have no sense of humor, it could be said that men have an offensive sense of humor, and men telling other men dirty jokes could be considered a form of male bonding. Also in the past, scientists have tried to justify the notion that men are smarter than women and women are emotionally weaker because men have larger brains. Research later showed that men do indeed have larger brains, but it's more than offset by the height and weight difference. So that theory was thrown out almost 100 years ago. Males are also considered better at math and science than women are. This bias is reinforced in childhood when boys are told they are good at math and girls are told they're not. Studies amongst the general population actually show that women are slightly better in math and spatial skills. When people hear that women aren't as good in math and spatial skills, it discourages girls from pursuing careers in fields such as architecture and engineering. And how has this affected our ability to keep up with the rest of the world when we're telling our children that they're good at something and not good at something else, when the theory itself is unfounded? There are also tendencies to overturn the men are better theory by turning it into the polar opposite, that women are better, while neither is true. Asking the question who is better sets up the idea of polar opposites and sets up false choices no matter which way you frame it. Saying there is something special and different about women's nature is an attitude that has historically been used to keep women in place. Instead of asking what is right about women, we should start asking what is wrong with men and see how our bias plays out. We have all heard many things that are wrong with women, but if you turn this around and point out the polar opposite of what is wrong with men, you can see the bias that exists in a lot of people's thinking. Women are considered gullible, but why aren't men considered rigid? Women are considered selfless, but why aren't men considered selfish? Women are considered suggestible, but why aren't men considered inflexible? Women are considered emotional, but why aren't men considered unfeeling? Women are considered not competitive enough, but why aren't men considered not cooperative enough? Research that looks for sex differences in the brain have been mostly inconclusive. Research is full of maybe, sometimes, and we don't know yet, but somehow these get turned into widely accepted facts. Why if women are better in verbal skills, are there not more auctioneers and diplomats? Why if women are better at making rapid decisions, aren't there more female air traffic controllers and umpires? The definition of verbal skills also changes over time. While women are better at communicating feelings and are more willing to talk in relationships, research shows that men in the workplace talk much more than women do. They interrupt women more, they dominate conversations, and they have their comments remembered more in group discussions. So which sex actually ends up having the better verbal skills? Also, women are considered better caregivers than men, while again research shows that when put in that capacity, men have the same capacity for caregiving that women do. Single fathers have the same capacity to take care of children that mothers do, and male caregivers that take care of elderly parents or grandparents have the same skills that women do in the same position. Also, in the workplace, someone in a subordinate position has the same capacity for reading the attitude and disposition of their superiors that women do. Actually, I have personal experience in this. I had a job with a small company, and I could tell when my boss walked through the door in the morning, his body language, just how his shoulders were set and how he walked and just the look on his face, exactly what kind of day we were all going to have. So I actually have personal experience in that area myself as far as being able to read somebody in a definite way and interpret things. The definition of while men and women are considered different, the differences have historically been exaggerated, and if people realize their inherent bias towards things needs to be adjusted, we can all take steps to improve our own thinking and in turn improve our relationships with each other. Thanks a lot.